The history of La Sagrada Familia begins in 1882, when a group of devout Catholics in Barcelona founded the Spiritual Association of Devotees of Saint Joseph, which aimed to raise funds to build a new church dedicated to the Holy Family. The association purchased a plot of land in the Example district of Barcelona and hired architect Francisco de Paula del Villar to design the church. However, Villar resigned from the project shortly after its inception, and the commission was passed on to the young architect Antoni Gaudi. Gaudi immediately set about redesigning the church, creating a new and innovative style that drew on a variety of architectural influences, including Gothic and Art Nouveau. Gaudi devoted much of his life to the construction of La Sagrada Familia, working on the project from 1883 until his death in 1926. During his lifetime, he oversaw the construction of the apse, the nativity facade, and the crypt. He also developed many of the unique architectural features of the church, including the innovative use of light and the integration of natural forms into the design. After Gaudi's death, work on La Sagrada Familia continued under a series of architects who followed his plans and ideas. However, the Spanish Civil War interrupted construction, and many of Gaudi's original plans and models were destroyed. In the years following the war, a team of architects led by Josep Maria Suberchas took up the challenge of completing Gaudi's masterpiece. They introduced new designs and materials, and in 2010, a new team of architects led by Jordi Fowley took over the project, with the aim of completing the church by 2026, the centenary of Gaudi's death. Today, La Sagrada Familia remains one of the most impressive and unique works of architecture in the world, attracting millions of visitors each year. The church is still under construction, with the final phase of work including the construction of the central nave and the glory facade. Parc Güell is a public park in Barcelona, Spain, that was designed by the renowned Catalan architect Antoni Gaudi. The park is located on a hill in the Gràcia district of Barcelona and was originally commissioned by the businessman Eusebi Güell, who wanted to create a garden city that would house the wealthy elite of Barcelona. Gaudi began work on the park in 1900, and construction continued until 1914. However, the Garden City project was ultimately abandoned, and the site was turned into a public park in 1926. Gaudi's design for the park was heavily influenced by the natural landscape, and he incorporated many natural elements, such as winding paths and rock formations, into his design. He also used a variety of materials, including mosaic tiles and broken pieces of colored glass, to create the colorful and whimsical sculptures and buildings that are now synonymous with the park. One of the most famous features of the park is the undulating bench that runs along the perimeter of the main terrace, which is covered in vibrant mosaics and offers stunning views of the city. Gaudi also designed two gatehouses for the park, which were originally intended to house the park's security guards. Today, Parc Güell is one of Barcelona's most popular tourist attractions, attracting millions of visitors each year. In 1984, it was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, along with other works of Gaudi in Barcelona, such as the Sagrada Familia and Casa Batlló. The Alhambra is a palace and fortress complex located in Granada, Spain. The name Alhambra comes from the Arabic words Alhamra, which means the red one, likely due to the color of the fortress walls. The site where the Alhambra stands has a long and rich history. It was originally built as a small fortress in the 9th century, during the reign of the Emir of Granada. In the 13th century, the Nasrid dynasty turned it into a royal palace, and it was expanded and remodeled over the centuries by subsequent rulers. The complex is a stunning example of Islamic architecture, with intricate geometric designs, calligraphy, and detailed tilework covering many surfaces. The Alhambra's architecture is also notable for its use of water features, with fountains, pools, and canals running throughout the complex. The gardens, with their lush vegetation, also add to the overall beauty of the complex. During the Spanish Reconquista, the Catholic monarchs conquered Granada and converted the Alhambra into a royal palace. In the following centuries, the complex fell into disrepair, and some of its buildings were destroyed or modified. In the 19th century, efforts to restore the Alhambra began, and today it is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Spain. The Alhambra was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984, and its rich history and architectural beauty continue to fascinate visitors from around the world. The complex is comprised of multiple buildings, including the Alcazaba, the Palacios Nazaris, and the Generalife, and a visit to the Alhambra offers a glimpse into the opulence and grandeur of medieval Islamic and Christian Spain. The Prado Museum is one of the most famous art museums in the world and is located in the heart of Madrid, Spain. It houses an extensive collection of Spanish and European art, including paintings, sculptures, and prints, from the 12th to the 20th century. The museum was founded in 1819 under the name of the Royal Museum of Painting and Sculpture by King Ferdinand VII. At the time, it was intended to showcase the Spanish royal collection and serve as an institution that would celebrate Spain's artistic heritage. In its early years, the museum had a relatively small collection, but it quickly grew thanks to acquisitions, donations, and acquisitions from various Spanish monarchs. During the Spanish Civil War, the museum's collection was moved to a safer location to prevent damage, and after the war, the museum was reopened in 1939. In the following years, the museum continued to acquire and display more artworks, and it became one of the most important cultural institutions in Spain. Today, the Prado Museum boasts an impressive collection of more than 35,000 works, with some of the most famous paintings including Las Meninas by Diego Velázquez, The Garden of Earthly Delights by Hieronymus Bosch, and The 3rd of May 1808 by Francisco Goya. In addition to its permanent collection, the museum also hosts temporary exhibitions and offers educational programs and activities for visitors of all ages. The Prado Museum is a must-see attraction for art lovers visiting Madrid, and its rich history and world-renowned collection continue to draw millions of visitors every year. The Park of Maria Luisa is a beautiful public park located in Seville, Spain. It covers an area of 100 acres and is considered to be one of the most popular parks in the country. The park is named after Maria Luisa Fernanda de Borbón, the Duchess of Montpensier, who donated it to the city in 1893. The park was originally part of the grounds of the Palace of San Telmo, which was the residence of the Dukes of Montpensier. The park was designed by the French landscape architect Jean-Claude Nicolas Forestier and features a mix of formal gardens, open green spaces, and winding paths that lead to hidden fountains and pavilions. One of the most famous features of the Park of Maria Luisa is the Plaza de España, which was built for the 1929 Ibero-American Exposition. The plaza is a large, open space with a central fountain and a semicircular building that is decorated with colorful tiles and ornate arches. The building now houses government offices, but visitors can still admire its intricate tilework and stunning architecture. The park also features several other notable landmarks, including the Museum of Arts and Traditions, the Archaeological Museum of Seville, and the Royal Pavilion. The park's many fountains, pools, and water features provide a peaceful retreat from the hustle and bustle of the city, and its well-manicured gardens are a testament to the city's dedication to preserving its natural beauty. Today, the Park of Maria Luisa is a popular destination for both locals and tourists alike. Visitors can stroll along the park's shaded paths, relax in one of its many gardens, or take a boat ride on the park's central lake. The park's rich history and stunning architecture continue to make it one of Seville's most beloved attractions.